Now then, boys, thanks to Apollo Justice having a very nice feature where it will split everything up into chapters, I can somewhat jump to the last part I played, which, up to my knowledge, pardon me, very sorry. Clavier was telling us about how there wasn't enough time to do a detailed analysis of the rifling marks. Damn. Well, this is the closest I can get without surpassing it. So I'm gonna stop voicing now, if that's okay with you. It has been some time. Wow.
Court is now back in session.
During our recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head.
Well, this is news on the rifling marks.
There wasn't any time to do a detailed analysis, though they did find the weapon type matches the murder weapon.
Well, that's not very conclusive, is it?
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness. Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Well, they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production, being the other half of True Grammar's famous duo, Zack and Vlad. Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation. How did I voice him? Fuck it, he can be British. Valant Grammar. Magician.
And you're the decisive witness, are you? You can prove your fellow student your partner's guilt?
Fate, the grand illusion, filled with traps and tricks. Wait, the shooting took place in that hospital at 11 o'clock at night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late? If one were to do this logically, the conclusion is yes. Okay. I always get the characters right. I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this.
That looks very familiar.
Oh, wait. That's the same letter Zack Grammar received. Yeah, so perhaps I should say ta-da!
Order, 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 shut the fuck up. And what does it say? Surely not the same thing.
Perhaps you should see for yourself.
Why, it's practically the same. The court accepts this into evidence.
Ooh!
This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? What exactly was your troop grammary up to?
By which you mean?
I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less.
It's just my opinion there, Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. We walked to the magician's path together, and in so doing, shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there's strain. A warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand. By which you mean you're not going to tell us? Which makes you wonder even more about the reason they confused.
Well, let's go over the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zach Gremery, stands accused. Tell us why.
Oh, I'll do more than that.
For where he walks, the red roses rise, singing hymns to the miracle that is magic.
Fascinating. I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene.
In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time.
Okay. As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes, and now it's time to get this party fired up. Just attractive. That night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnify requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow students might have received these same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police. Bit odd they both went for it.
So you're the one who reported the crime?
Indeed, I would think this fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. Let's not jump to any conclusions.
Yes, the first examination generally comes before the conclusions in this court. But if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zach Gremery, is guilty.
If it wasn't Zach Gremery, then the kill was evil. And no disappearing I will get you out of that. Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m. Indeed. In magic, timing is everything. Right. Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic. Now that you revealed the very secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on. You went at the designated time, and what did you see? So you weren't treated on safety at all. I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes. What if the shooter was still nearby? I did not consider this, to be honest. It is forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination. Really? Is magic all about illusions? How about this? No. You're the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid. Now you are the one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have good imagination.
The witness will refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things.
Which brings us back to this reason Nathan could refuse. So it does, and my partner did not refuse. But Magnify wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zach couldn't? Because I have a will of steel, of course. I also do this trick where I bend steel bars, so perhaps steel isn't all so strong. So which is it? Mind if I continue? There were 2 bullet holes in the scene, one on the victim, one on the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? No doubt my partner Zach has said much the same thing. Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown could have murdered him. I'd better dig around here a bit more and see what I can turn out. Mr. Vaughn, let me ask about something else concerning the crime scene, namely... How many pistols were there when you entered the room? By which you mean what, precisely? 2 pistols were used in this act of long quick-draw shooting, correct? 1 for each of you. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night. What did Zach tell me back in the line? Oh my fucking god. One of the things I don't like about Apollo Justice is memory. I have not a very good one, but I can remember the important facts. You don't need to give me flashbacks every 3 seconds to remind me of something I just saw. Yes, he snuck into his room at that time and fucking shot the clown in the face. Just bang! And then he decided to say, hello there, I'm a magician, yes, kill yourself, fuck off. And then he walked out the room, and then this guy walked in and said, hello, yes, I'm going to shoot you in the face now. Okay.
I see no problem with that statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene after all.
So you picked up the pistol and fired it? Indeed I did. Alakazam, Alakazing, Alakazboom.
Is the number of pistols really so important?
The number of pistols is quite important.
Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony.
What can I do but obey?
Objection!
Hell yeah. According to the defendant Zach Gameray, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on the table.
2?
One of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Then he left with it in his pocket. Of course, that is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head. Well, what Mr. Vallant has told us. You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense. And what might that be? I told you I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. That's your story, at least. But the rifling marks told a very different story, Mr. Vallant. Recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. I already know this detail. The rifling marks on the bullet were a perfect match. Ah. Mr. Blonde, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead.
Order. Shut the fuck up!
Been waiting for it to play the objection theme and not the pursuit and or telling the truth.
Well, this is all rather sudden.
Usually when you make accusations like that. What have I done?
Prosecutor Gavin?
I owe the court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifle marks only proved the type of gun fired them. But that's not what you told us before. You said you'd verified the murder weapon. Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth? That was just this morning! I am still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion right now. Fact?
Valent Grammeret?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were presented to this court as a decisive witness, but you've proven to be more of a divisive than decisive.
Objection!
You'll see in time. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next.
Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin?
When Mr. Vallant entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. As his next testimony will prove. Alright, the real fight is about to begin.
I'd rather not, personally.
Bring it.
Very well, the witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what.
Oh, we'll get 2.0. Dun, dun. I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, and then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at that time was my partner, not me. I have to see it because Matthew's freaking inviting me. What the frick's this?